I'm Jordan Rayner, and this is the Word Before Work. Today we're reading from Colossians 3:18 through 4:1. Here's what it says. Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, and do it not only when their eye is on you and to curry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. Anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism. Masters, provide your slaves with what is right and fair, because you know that you also have a master in heaven. Over the years, I have written frequently on Colossians 3:23, where it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for human masters. In a way, this verse guides nearly everything I write about, calling all of us to lean into the work God has given us to do with all of our hearts, so that we would all do our most exceptional work for the glory of God and the good of others. But today, I want to view this verse in its larger context to see what additional application we might glean. Colossians 3:23 is set in the middle of Paul's instructions to Christian households. When we read in its entirety Colossians 3, one thing stands out to me in this passage more than anything else: the spirit of mutual submission that we are called to in every single aspect of our lives. Wives are called to submit to their husbands. Husbands are called to love their wives. As Paul adds in Ephesians 5 to, quote, give himself up for her. Children are commanded to obey their parents, and fathers are called to serve their children through the words that they utter to their kids. And of course, as we see here in Colossians 3, slaves, what most theologians translate to employees or workers today, are commanded to submit to their employers, while employers are called to serve their employees by providing what is right and what is fair and just. Each time the seemingly powerless party is called to submit, the traditionally powerful is commanded to do largely the same thing. Don't miss this in reading Colossians 3. It's interesting that for both employees and employers, Paul's instruction is the same. Reimagine your work as if you are working for the Lord. If you're an employee, you are not primarily working for your employer. It is the Lord Christ you are serving, Paul says. If you're an employer, you're not primarily working for shareholders, customers, or even working for yourself. You are working for your master who is in heaven. See Colossians 4 verse 1. Hierarchies at work are often necessary for efficiency and order. But whatever your position, view your work in light of today's passage as a servant, primarily to God, leading you to be a servant to those who work for you and those you work for. And let that picture of work make us more ambitious to do our most exceptional work, because it is for God's glory and the good of others. Today's devotional only scratches the surface of how God's Word connects to our work. If you want to go deeper, sign up for my free 20-day devotional called The Word Before Work Foundations at twbwfoundations.com. These email devotionals are designed to help you gain a rich understanding of the biblical narrative of work, how exactly your work matters for eternity, and how those truths influence how we should work today. Sign up for free right now at twbwfoundations.com.